We've got new champions, friends turning on friends, rivalries continued, and of course, the New Day are still your tag team champions. Or just another week in WWE. We've got a lot to catch up on. We're going to get right into it. A lot has been happening on Raw. I want to talk about Sami Zayn. He hasn't been happy as of late. He wants Braun Strowman. Mick Foley doesn't want to give him Braun Strowman because he, quite honestly, and has said it, doesn't believe he can beat Braun Strowman. Last night on Raw, we all thought Sami Zayn was going to get traded to Smackdown. Foley said he talked to Daniel Bryan, and they were going to trade Sami Zayn for Eva Marie because somehow they are the same in talent. That didn't sit well with Sami Zayn. Clearly, they're nowhere near each other in terms of talent. It was all a ploy, though. He was never going to be traded to SmackDown. Mick Foley wanted to bring out that passion and that anger in Sami Zayn because he is finally giving him Braun Strowman at Roadblock, end of the line, which is this Sunday, and he is going to have 10 minutes to try and defeat Braun Strowman. I don't know what's going to happen if he doesn't. I'm hoping that if he does, which obviously everybody roots for the underdog. He is the underdog from the underground. He is hopefully will be in line for some kind of title shot. Speaking of title shots, Rich Swann is your new Cruiserweight champion. He beat the Brian Kendrick a couple of weeks ago. I love Rich Swann. I don't know how can you not? Come on. He's so infectious. There's going to be a triple threat match at end of the line with TJ Perkins, the Brian Kendrick, and Rich Swann. I don't like to see Rich Swann continue to be champion, but these two, obviously his opponents, are both former champions, TJ being the inaugural champion, so it could go anyway. We also had the New Day cementing their place in history and beating Demolition's record and becoming the longest reigning tag team champions in history. They had 2 matches on Raw, 2 triple threat matches on Raw. They won the first match against Cesaro and Sheamus and the Club. However, during their celebration, which of course included unicorns, you can never celebrate without unicorns and bootios. Some champagne was accidentally spilled on Stephanie McMahon. She wasn't happy about that. Kevin Owens likes to do what Kevin Owens doing what he does. Decided to talk to Stephanie. There was going to be a match of the New Day versus Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for the tag team titles. However, Mick Foley didn't appreciate that. Added Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, former Shield mates and also tag team champions in their own right, into the match. However, the New Day still pulled out on top. There was some dissension between Jericho and Kevin Owens, of course. I'll get to that in a few. But, again, New Day, longest reigning tag team champions in history. I don't know if anybody can beat them now at this point. I mean, I'm going for over 400 days, so we'll have to see. Charlotte and Sasha Banks, they always pull out fantastic matches. Obviously, they're 2 of the greatest female wrestlers in the business today. Sasha finally beat Charlotte again for the women's title on Raw last week in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Again, down in the history books. That's the first time that's happened. They main evented Raw again. These 2, I told you a couple weeks ago to watch out for them because they were going to make history. They did it, and they're doing it again. Just keeps, I love it. Who doesn't want to watch these 2 fight forever? They are going to be fighting, however, they're not going to be fighting forever. They're going to be fighting at Roadblock, end of the line, for the Women's Championship in a 30-minute Iron Man match, and as stated on Raw last night, that's it. This rivalry is coming to an end no matter who wins. Neither one is going to get a rematch, so if Charlotte wins, that's it. It could go either way. Again, these 2 have proven that you can never count either one out. And also at Roadblock, we have 2 matches. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wants Triple H, but right now he says his road to redemption, he needs to go through Chris Jericho. And Roman Reigns is going to fight Kevin Owens. Roman may become the double champion, as again Seth Rollins has done, as the world heavyweight, or the Universal champion, and the United States champion. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, they were funny, best friends, but I don't know if they're going to be friends anymore. Seth Rollins basically pushed Kevin Owens into Chris Jericho to break up the pinfall in their match last night. Jericho thought it was done on purpose. They were fighting. They ended up losing, basically, because they weren't paying attention to each other. Kevin Owens cost Chris Jericho a match, so I don't know how this is all going to play out at Roadblock, but we'll have to wait and see. Over to SmackDown, we have more new champions on SmackDown. The Wyatt family weren't even in this tag match at TLC, but they defeated American Alpha to be put into the match. It was Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, and they defeated Heath Slater and Rhino to become the new SmackDown champions. Now, Luke Harper returned and helped them win that match. I'm not sure if this is going to be like a New Day situation where the three of them will defend the titles. We will have to wait and see. We also had Carmella and Nikki have their final battle. Well, I'm assuming it was their final battle at TLC, which Nikki won. Carmella told her that she did not attack her at Survivor Series. It was her friend, Natalya. Of course, Natty denies that. But I wouldn't be surprised. Natty wanted to be in that match at Survivor Series. She wasn't put in the match. She lost her chance to be the captain to Nikki Bella. So it wouldn't be surprising. And, friends turn on friends, unfortunately. That's how it goes. We also had Alexa Bliss winning her first title in WWE as she defeated Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship in a tables match. These two really proved that they belong on the top of the division, especially Alexa. She's young. She's actually my age. She's 25. Just started a couple of years ago, but she has improved so much, and I'm glad that she's champion. And we're going to have to see how her reign goes. We got Naomi, Natalya, Nikki. I mean, the SmackDown Women's division is strong, so can Alexa hold them off? We don't know. Finally, again, friends turning on friends, although I don't know if James Ellsworth was actually a friend to Dean Ambrose or this was a ploy all along. James Ellsworth turned on Dean Ambrose at TLC, costing him the World Heavyweight title. Tried to apologize in his own way on SmackDown. Dean Ambrose was not having any of that. And Dirty Deeds. Gave him the Dirty Deeds at the beginning of the show. Thought that was it of James Ellsworth. Dean Ambrose ended up getting an Intercontinental title match against The Miz. Ellsworth came back, cost him the title again. Clearly, this isn't over between the two of them. And tonight on SmackDown, it's actually going to be James Ellsworth finally getting his match against AJ Styles for the title. We have to assume that Ambrose is somehow going to get involved. I can't see James Ellsworth winning. But you never know. Down to NXT, we had an interesting match where Shinsuke Nakamura became the new champion. It was in when NXT was touring Japan, so it was not on TV. We didn't see it. Kind of a surprise, but nonetheless, Shinsuke is now your two-time heavyweight champion, NXT champion. There's so many titles. What does this mean for Samoa Joe? I don't know if they're going to have a rematch, but again, these are just two people that you do not mind seeing fighting forever. We also had Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Now, they haven't had a title match yet. They haven't won, but they're really making a name for themselves in the women's division. Again, with everybody leaving, especially Bayley, leaving NXT, it kind of leaves the spot for a top female superstar. Peyton and Billie are not very nice about it, but they're great athletes, and they're making their way to the top no matter what. They've been kind of bullying Aaliyah and Liv Morgan, again, trying to make their way to the top, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. Speaking of being on top, Asuka, still your women's champion. She defeated Mickie James at TakeOver Toronto. I don't know who can beat her. If Mickie James, one of the most decorated female wrestlers in history, cannot stop Asuka, I don't know who can. That's going to lead me into who's next, because there is a woman who quite possibly can do that, and that is Deonna Purrazzo. You've seen her before. She's an indie wrestler. She's been on NXT a few times. She's got the look. She's got the talent. She was trained by Rip Rogers. What more do I need to say? Keep an eye out for her. I really hope WWE signs her soon. Again, they've had her on NXT in a couple of matches, so they know how great she is. She can very possibly defeat Asuka. Also, we're going to stick with the female theme. Who you need to be watching. It's not an NXT superstar, although she is a former NXT superstar in Emma. Now, she was supposed to re-debut on Raw last night. However, on Twitter, basically, she said all you care about is the 4 Horsewomen. You're going to have to wait to see me. We know how Emma is. She has not been a champion. I think she's going to come back stronger than ever, and she is going to want to be that champion, whether it's against Charlotte or Sasha Banks. You're going to get great matches out of these two. And Emma, like I said, is here to stay. She's really here to prove herself and that she belongs in the top spot. And her talent really says that she does. That's it for today. If you have any comments or you want me to talk about anything, comment below, and I will be back next week.